Yep, I'm talking to you. You're getting hungry. Very hungry. Your mouth is watering. You have a craving. A craving for Doritos. A craving for crunchy tacos. Well, have I got the treat for you. It's that time again. It's grill time, baby. Come on in tomorrow only to get your charcoal for 50% off. Choose your favorite smoker. That's 20% off. 3453 North Kimball in Chicago, Illinois. Remember, this sale is for one day only. Now that's how you save big money. It's selling out fast and secure. Your tickets now. The first annual 1043 2018 Hip Hop Fallback Jam Session. It's something you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Denia Azure, and you are now tuned in to No Filter Radio with your host, Dope as Music.
So we're working on that.
Television.
Sissy. Okay. So I think it's so special having my big sister do my makeup. I love when my sissy Erica helps me kind of play, I say dress up. It just makes me feel like, my big sister making me look fly, as she would say. I like it. Smoky sexy.
Social media. Video shoots. Photo shoots. Live stream.
Like 2 weeks ago, and most of you know I'm a casting associate, so I cast background and extras and whatever for 4-star casting.
Movies.
Dwayne, can I see you in my office?
Yeah. Can I use the bathroom first?
Well, make it fast.
YouTube videos.
Sweet love, hear me calling out your name. I feel no shame in love. Love, don't you ever.
Or commercials. Denia Designs for You will get you right. Grab that S4S jewelry. Just go to bit.ly/DD4U jewelry.
Located at 4655 South King Drive. Approved by Papas Everywhere.
Hello to everyone coming in the room. Just showing this real quick. If you haven't already done so, please thumbs up this video. If you have not already done so, please thumbs up this video. If you are on Periscope, go ahead and give it some hearts. If you are on Facebook, go ahead and hit the interaction button for me, please. Hello to everyone that's in the bushes. Rest in peace, another is your man. One day I'll let y'all see this whole video, but for now I'm just showing you my clip to prove a point. Keep in mind this was years ago and 4K did not exist, so. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, hello to everyone and who was in the bushes on the replay. Welcome. This is Denaya. You guys can follow me Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and Snapchat at Denaya. That's DANAYAEZURE. Let me take that off the screen so you guys can actually see and hear me. Oh, child. So I have seen a lot. I'm doing a lot of reviews of the movie Cuties, and yeah. It's very, very interesting, to say the least. So I'm just going to talk specifically on the music video portion and my issue with that. So we have a situation where, well, first of all, Cuties is supposed to be some coming of age film, is what I keep on hearing. I refuse to watch it because, again, I've seen the music video portion and I'm no longer interested, like, at all. Because of the fact that just from watching the music video alone, you can tell that there is so much neglect when it came to this film. Whew, child. So much neglect when it came to this film, from the directors to the choreographers to the parents, this entire production team. You know, I think it's very interesting, very, very interesting how it's become so commonplace to make little girls sexual objects. The reason that I even wanted to come on specifically is because when we were dancing, Mom made it very, very, very clear that was the last thing that she wanted. And she made it very clear that she wanted to make sure that we always dressed with integrity and that we had on way more clothes than we needed to, so that there would be no question of whether or not we were doing dance that were provocative. In fact, we weren't even allowed to do any of the more provocative dances until we got to be like teenagers. So the fact that we had this movie out where these kids are 11 years old and they're dancing like they're 18, it's a problem. If you look at the camera angles specifically, that's where I had the issue. Because what happened is that you have a lot of these adults that were shooting this film. And I think God has mentioned it, and a couple of other content creators mentioned it, you had to shoot these camera angles over and over again because it didn't look right. You had to change angles. You had to do, you had to change positions, right? So you have to have a pretty sick mind to be able to shoot a child in an angle where they're grabbing themselves, in an angle where they're bent over, in an angle where their arms are out and trying to touch their crotch, and an angle where they're sitting there and they're got their finger on their lip and biting their, and all that kind of mess. Hey Chupa, how are you? Happy to be back on YouTube, Matt. Ciao, Chupa. Yes, YouTube, very interesting, very, very interesting. Like I said, it was so crazy though. Like I watched I didn't even watch the freaking film. I literally just watched that video clip. And I think the biggest problem that I have with this entire situation is how many people approved of it. Now think about it. When you have a movie, you have to go through so many approval processes. So like you got to go through the different boards. The fact that it got an award, I'm confused by that. I think it's really interesting the way that the posters were portrayed. So I'll show you the French poster. Hold on, let me show you guys the French poster real quick. I'm not showing the American, but I'll show you the French poster. Because the American poster is insane. But I'll definitely show you guys the French poster. And I feel like the French poster is actually worse because it's more deceiving. Because in this poster you see and you're like, oh, just some friends, they're coming together, they're having fun, going shopping. The American poster tells more of the truth. They're sitting up there, they're twerking, they're getting in trouble and acting a daggone fool. And that's precisely what's happening. I saw one clip where they had this something crazy. The security guard was stopping them, and they decided to dance for them. What the hell? Again, I get it. I get the whole concept of, well, some little girls are being sexualized. Yes, that's very true, but you're the ones doing it now. You can't talk about how kids are being sexualized if you're the ones that are actually sexualizing the children. Chuba says, I've gone to oh, you had a fight. You had an evacuation at the house. Oh my goodness. Hey Ken, how are you? But that's the thing though. You definitely cannot sit up here and say, how bad it is to sexualize children when you're the ones that are sexualizing them. Like there was no reason at all why they had to go to that extent. If you're talking about the fact that these kids are out here and and they're twerking and they're doing this and that. Now again, as I showed previously, I grew up as a belly dancer. So I grew up, doing dance that typically isn't for children, but my mom made it sure that she made the dances so that they were child appropriate. There are ways to make adult dances so that they are child appropriate. And that is done by costuming and that is done by choreography. So the fact that these people made the choreography for adults, the costuming for either late teens or adults, is the problem that we have here, right? There are so many people that are trying to say, well, that's not what it is, and you really have to watch the movie. I'm not giving that thing a click on the damn view. John Benet Ramsey, absolutely. Ooh, John Benet Ramsey, a lot of the different, you think about Tyler's and Tiaras. Let's be very clear, not all beauty pageants sexualize children. But there are some where I have some questions. Because there was one episode of Tyler's and Tiaras, and the mom was sitting up, the girl was sitting up there, and I think she was actually portraying like Pretty Woman or something. And she's just acting like a prostitute. And I was like, I'm confused. on why your mother thought this is okay. This kid was like 3. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there are definitely some aspects where it's normalized to sexualize children. I think why people are so incredibly outraged on this one is because you can't say this is a coming of age story and we're just trying to say what happens to what can potentially happen to kids and what hasn't happened to kids. And you're the one that's making it happen. You just can't. There is no justification for it whatsoever. It's absolutely disgusting. It's appalling. And it makes no sense. Because the only thing that you're doing at this point is you're helping pedophiles. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only purpose to this film at this point. And again, I have not seen the entire film. I refuse to see the entire film. If I had a Netflix account, I would have canceled it because they've lost their damn mind. I'm glad I didn't get one now. I was thinking about getting one. Nah, I'm good. Y'all figure that out. Because the problem is you now have all these people. And what people don't realize is when you go up there and you're sharing it and you're saying, oh, look at this, you're just as bad. Goddess did it right. She had it so like the kids' faces were blurred out. If you're going to talk about this film and your purpose for talking about it is so that these kids aren't sexualized on your platform, take out their faces. So that way people aren't saying that you're just as bad. Because if you're sitting there and saying, oh, this is bad, look at this, and you're showing the same videos or the same photos that are sexualizing children, you're not helping either. I think a lot of people don't realize that part about it. That when you show, that when you're the one that's showing the stuff, you're not helping either. Chupacabra said there's all kinds of crazy people out there harassing some of the girls that were childhood actresses, and now adult. Yup. Like Taylor Swift, the Jenner sisters, absolutely, yeah. And that's what people don't realize is that like there are so many people out there that their fantasy is to, for whatever reason, be with a young child. Do not understand it. That's the sickest thing I've ever heard of, but it's true. And they're actually and guys was actually showing a Twitter user that I had to block that was saying, oh yeah, make sure you guys go watch this so we can see the pretty girls. What? No, this is not what we're supposed to be trying to do here. Supposed to be discouraging people from wanting to see children in that light because they're children and they can't consent and it's just creepy. And why the hell are you watching children? What? No. It doesn't make any sense. Like, are you freaking kidding me? I don't even understand what kind of a person would be on this kind of a production. Because think about it. So you have this production and you have these kids that are up here and you're watching them. And you're watching them, they're watching their moves. You're watching their the personas. You're watching these costumes all day long. These shoots take hours to do. So like you got an 18-hour day, and for 18 hours you're watching young girls be half naked, or or sexually harassing young boys and older men. I don't give a damn. It's just for the camera. You're watching this. You're as a person in production, you're watching this. And you're looking at this all go down. What are you thinking? Like, it doesn't make any freaking sense. It's absolutely insane. Just absolutely insane. You know what I mean? It's just the craziest thing that I've ever seen. And I think it's the reason that people are so appalled by this is because it's so blatant on what it's for. Like there are different concepts where it's questionable behavior. Well, maybe it could be a situation where they're talking about kids and they're sexualizing children and there's questions. There's no questions here. It's blatant. You know for a fact that that's what they're doing. You know for a fact that that's what the intention is. You know for a fact that this is what they wanted to do. The goal of this movie, for real, was nothing more than to appease pedophiles. Period. Point blank. That's exactly what they did. There's nothing else. There's no other point to it. You can't claim that it's a coming of age film and the young girl was just trying to figure herself out. You can't do that in this instance. And do you want to know why? Because instead of just saying, maybe showing 2 seconds of kids that was inappropriate and pulling it away and saying, and the girl saying, "Oh, that looks fun," but then thinking, "Nah, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I don't want to go to that extent." You literally had a whole scene of the girls on the floor gyrating. Apparently, there's a scene where one of the girls sexed someone. Hold on. Chupa said they're easing their way to saying the sexual kids is okay. Yep. You have that group that supports Trump. Absolutely. And that's the problem. Because like I said, if it would have been a situation where the girl was sitting up there and she was doing some crazy stuff, even the manipulation, doing that part, and she saw them dancing, she was like, "Man, I'm not gonna try that." And then Solomon was like, "Never mind. Never. I don't want to do that. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking properly." That's one thing. No, but y'all didn't do that though. See, that I would understand. She looked. She said, "Okay, that looks fun. All right, wait, hold on. Let me think about this. Let me think about how this is going to look later on. Let me think about how this is going to make me look if I really want to get and become a dancer. How this is going to make me look. Let me think about that first." And then said, "Nah, let me go ahead and go to these hip hop classes real quick. Or go to this ballet classes real quick. Or go to this jazz classes real quick. And try that. And work my way up." But no, that's not what you did. Y'all found the most scantily clad wardrobe you could find for these children without it being X-rated, and had them on the floor twerking and damn near grabbing their crotches. Really? Whatever happened to protecting the children? Y'all saw the clip. I was literally dressed head to toe. Head to toe all the time. Because I was a child. That's how children dance are supposed to be. Leotards and undergarments and skirts. You want to cover up their bodies because they're children. I don't understand why this concept is so foreign. These are kids. Why are we even having the conversation of whether they're supposed to be covered up or not? I'm so confused. I am so incredibly confused. I remember having the conversation on whether children should be covered up while they're performing. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let me show you another piece. This is my cousin. When she was performing. Hold on. Where's the one? Hold on. There it is. Yep. I think she was 10 at the time. So a year younger than these girls. Oh no, oopsie. Let me show you. Hold on, right here. I'm sorry. So that's my cousin when she was performing. And she was 10 at the time. You see how like the only thing out is like her arms? Like I'm not getting it. I'm so confused. She's now a psychologist in Texas, by the way. Because she was taught the appropriate way for a child to be dancing. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just crazy. Hold on, let me put this off. Yeah, I'll put the full thing at some point, but hold on. So the reason though it, yep, it's just absolutely insane. Just absolutely insane, absolutely despicable. And I don't even know where we can go from here. Now I'm very happy to see that a lot of people have been talking about it and and saying that they're against it. That's great. That's freaking phenomenal. But the question is, what next? What next? How do we prevent films like this from being made and at least getting mainstream attention? Goodness. How do we encourage parents to not let their children be exploited? I mean, what's even crazier, because guys was talking about Amanda Bynes and Ariana Grande and what they actually were going through when it came to them being child actors. And that was disgusting. As a matter of fact, that was nasty. Really, really bad. But now it's a question of what are we going to do when it comes to these kids? How are we going to protect these kids? Is there a way to protect these kids, or has it gone too far? Like I said, cancel Netflix is trending. That's great. But the question is, what's next? Because of the one thing that I don't want it to be a situation where it's like, okay, well, Netflix did this, so we're going to cancel Netflix, quote unquote, but we're going to continue to have the same issue. I need people to understand the reason this is so serious. We already have these kids right now that are confused. So many kids right now are confused. They don't understand. They don't understand what they need to do, and in terms of who they are, they're just figuring out who they are. They're just figuring out possibly what they want to be. There are so many kids right now, especially in this climate, that are so scared because some of them can't go outside at all. And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize. There are kids that have not been outside since March because they have pre-existing conditions and their parents are deathly afraid of them getting sick. So all they have is what's going on online right now. What country did it get an award in, and where is it filmed? It was filmed in France. So that's what I was telling you. So the poster that I showed earlier, hold on. This is the French poster. And people were like, well, why did it get so crazy when it came to the US? Because the US likes to sell, because the US likes to sell sex. But again, the problem is the fact of the matter, too many people aren't paying attention to the fact that these kids are being sexualized. The French post doesn't even show that part. It's like, yeah, we're going to the mall. No. The little brats were probably going to the mall to steal stuff to begin with. So they probably stole everything in that bag, by the way. Because from what I've heard, I think Cassie actually saw. She actually saw the movie because she talked about it first, but she actually wanted to see it to give her review on it. Cassie Jackson has a really good review of this movie as well. And she was saying that like the young men and the young boys and the men were actually the victims in this story because the girls were trying to put themselves on them on multiple occasions. So, like I said, if it's supposed to be a story about a coming of age of these kids or this girl or whatever, that's one thing. But you could have left out all of the twerking and the gyrating and the sexting and all of that. Did not need to happen. These kids are 11. And I get it. The kids are doing this stuff younger and younger. But there are ways to talk about it without actually showing it. Like from like what Cassie was saying, that there actually is a shot where they're showing the girl taking a photo of herself inappropriately and uploading it to something. Again, we know what happens because we've seen the results. But you don't have to focus on that. You don't want to glorify that. And what this is doing is it's glorifying all of the negatives when it comes to kids and dance. And you can say all day, well, what about dance moms? What about Bring It On? What about, what's the other one? What about Toddlers and Tiaras? Yes, there have been some shows where the kids are in clothes that are not appropriate, and even when they had, and I know exactly what episode they're referring to, and in that episode that was the first season, the moms talked about it. That happened one time, and they corrected it. Dancing Dolls, right? Yeah, Dancing Doll. Yeah, Bring It On. The Dancing Dolls. Yep. But even their stuff isn't that salacious. It isn't that salacious. I know, and it's sad because it's like, and those girls are very skilled. But I guess that's the problem. We have the situation where you have all of these different shows that are showcasing children that are dancing now. And some of it is inappropriate. But they're not sitting up there and they're not trying to harm anyone. These kids also aren't trying to aren't sexually harassing people. Because these kids are actually sexually harassing young boys and older men. They're the ones that are victimizing or attempting to victimize these young boys and older men. That's not happening at all when it comes to dance moms or Bring It On or any of them, even Tellers and Tiaras. It's insane. It's insane. It's disgusting. I don't even understand why the parents thought this is okay. I don't. I want to talk to the production company, the wardrobe stylist, the parents, the director, the production team, the editor. Like there's so many people that make a movie successful. I have so many questions because now we have a situation where you have these kids that can't live this down. These kids are going to grow up. And I hope every single one of them has bodyguards because they're going to need them. Like, I hope in all of this, that's the only thing that their production company did was provide them with bodyguards because now these kids are in danger because now they're portrayed as being sexual beings at 11. So, Miss Director, I hope you gave your cast bodyguards because they need them now. Thank you, because of the way that you portray them in this film. And someone's going to think that that's how they are in real life. That's why you have to be very careful what you allow your name to be on when you're in film. You have to be very, very careful of what you put your name on when it comes to film. It's sad. It's just sad. It's appalling. It's frustrating. It's insane that this is what we allow to happen in this day and age. There are so many kids that are so talented nowadays that have worked really hard to build their craft that are dancers. They do salsa, they do hip hop, they do jazz, tap, but we're not focusing on them. Right now, the entire focus is on this movie of these kids that are twerking and gyrating and being disrespectful and harassing people. Like that's the new cool thing. And it's not. It's not by any means. And it's disgusting. And I really, 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 really hope that we can get to a portion, we can get to a time where this is not the norm, where this is unacceptable, where this will not get an award. And the only thing that will get awards are things that are putting kids in a good light, in real dancers that have real talent, who actually want to make a difference and want to show that little black girls are there for more than just sexual gratification. But in this film, not so much. But anywho, I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about that because it was burning, so I had to say something because I kept on seeing different people talking about it, and I was like, I refuse to not say something about the situation because it's unacceptable. And there's no reason that they had to go this route when it came to this movie. There's no reason they had to be that explicit with those shots. You're welcome, Chupa. All right, you guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and Snapchat at Danazure. That's DANAAZURE. I like the Facebook page, facebook.com/Dana Designs for You, facebook.com/K4S Entertainment. You can go ahead and grab your copy of HFL Magazine at www.k4sent.com. Maybe on later on tonight. We'll see how I feel. I do probably do like a basic Danazure video rewind of one of the fabulous interviews I've done this past couple weeks. So, all right, you guys, have a great day.